Great. Thank you. Thanks for your patience. I had sent in a presentation. I'm not sure if...
sorry, Daniel, go ahead.
Hi there. I'm not sure if my presentation was able to get through to the secretary for for viewing. Are you able to confirm if that was received or can be displayed?
One moment. You're able to share your presentation, Daniel.
Okay, great. I'll do that.
There it is. Okay.
There, yeah. So just by way of an introduction to the new members of the board, first of all, welcome. I'm you can call me the Jiminy Cricket of the Toronto Board of Health. I at one point applied, but now I'm just kind of an outside advisor, consider myself. So what I'm showing here, I just wanted to speak to so I do a lot of advocacy on X, by the way, about, talk about this misinformation and disinformation, words that were used, by the way, in this report without really explaining what it is, what it was, and how the board plans on tackling it. So I kind of do this in my own way by just kind of always going to my authorities and source documents. What you're showing here, what I wanted to bring to the board's attention here is part of the vaccine injury reporting mechanism that the Board of Health had used during COVID. This is an individual who had contacted me. Oh, did it go away? Yeah, there it is. So what you're seeing here, and I just want to bring this to the board's attention, this is an adverse event document, a reporting document that Toronto Board of Health, Public Health had used during COVID. The left side, these documents should be the same, but they're not. They're actually, and I highlighted it on the right, the difference between these two documents. This is a document of an adverse event following immunization. One copy on the left was sent to the patient. The other copy on the right was sent to the patient's doctor. And the reason why this is important is because what this shows is that an adverse event investigator within Toronto Public Health was sending misleading or different versions of the same document and kind of representing that they were the same. In one case on the left, the investigator tells the patient that the adverse event was likely caused by the vaccine. On the right, it says it was possibly a psychological reaction, and that version was sent to the patient's doctor. And so when we talk about misinformation and disinformation, the board needs to reevaluate their own, kind of do a retroactive evaluation as part of its future planning for addressing misinformation. What we're seeing here is that in this case, it resulted in the patient having delayed medical treatment because the doctor who got this contradictory or got this misleading report ended up not properly treating the patient. Toronto Public Health during COVID, and even now, it still acts basically as a patient's physician. Like, even though it's not really supposed to, it effectively does. So it has to be really careful and do a proper investigation into what happened here with these adverse event reports and the investigator in particular. How's my time, by the way? Where am I? I don't even see my time anymore.
You have 2 minutes left.
Okay, I'll be fast because I see there's other speakers too. But basically, and Councillor Perusa at one point, I talked about a cover-up in one of my previous delegations. Maybe that language is a bit harsh, but something like this is, it's pretty close to, to something of that nature. When you have these investigation reports that are misleading patients as to what has been sent to their own physicians. It took this particular patient almost 2 years to discover this. If you scroll down, what I tried to do through an Access to Information Act request is find out how common this was. Like, what was the practice here of, sending of the adverse event reporting mechanism, and was there self-correction going on within Toronto Public Health to fix this problem? Whether it was just a rogue investigator or whether it was a practice to send different versions of adverse events to the patient and different versions to their physician. And I was roadblocked on this request because I was told here, so I asked for whether there were any changes to the internal adverse event reporting procedures in response to identified or alleged mismanagement. So maybe I could narrow that down and just say, what was the adverse event review protocol? Because I think this was an example of, I'll call it insidious misinformation because it was done behind the back of the patient. But you can see in that response, the the city or the board refused to provide any response to that request because it was considered meetings consultations. So, I could fight this information request. It'll probably take me 4 years to make any
You
progress.
have
So I'm
10
just asking-
seconds, Daniel.
Yeah, so if the board wants to, take any steps to address this as part of its misinformation, disinformation campaign, that would be amazing.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for the deputant? Seeing none, thank you.
Thank you.
Is Gil